Okay, time for bed, eh? See you in the morning, Kitsuragi.
This fan has two chain pull switches. One ends in a tiny fan, the other in a light bulb. A truly horrific necktie has somehow attached itself to one of the blades. Or has it been consigned there as punishment? You feel as though this...
I guess we go to bed. Oh, what's this?
The window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind blows in.
Visual calculus, easy. Assess the damage.
The shards face outward. Whatever broke this window came from the inside.
Did I break it with my own hands?
A fine web of scarring covers the back of your right hand, but none of it is recent.
What did it then?
More likely a projectile than a held object. There are no fragments on the floor from pulling a tool back in after impact.
Wait, what am I doing?
Something you've done before.
Assess the size of the impact.
It is too large for a bullet, yet too small for a piece of furniture. You're looking for something heavy and larger than your fist. The shoe you found on the balcony fits the hole almost as well as your foot. It would have also been heavy enough if thrown with force. Congratulations, you smashed the window with your own shoe.
I'm sure I had a good reason. Maybe I was trying to hit somebody.
And maybe, just maybe, you succeeded. We'll never know. Or maybe you were trying to smash your own reflection in the window pane. The bed is cold and not particularly inviting, but it's yours. The sheets look awful.
Crawl in.
The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out and finally close your eyes. And then sleep doesn't come. And then sleep doesn't come.
Why?
Maybe it's the bed's fault.
Check the pillow.
Its synthetic filling has separated into hard lumps. The pillowcase smells oddly.
Check the blanket.
It barely covers your toes, stretching over your soft belly. This is your body here, intimate and warm, breathing. Under your thrumming eyelids, you see a dizzying array of colors. You won't get off this carousel quite so easily.
Roll over to the other side.
It's a little better. Colors, scenes, and half-formed phrases still litter your mind. Part of you is still trying to solve the case, isn't it?
Who killed him? Who?
Something to do with, what was it that the lieutenant said? Union? And it's gone again. Your thoughts lost between the slowing brain waves.
No more thoughts. Fall asleep now.
Your breathing steadies. A great silence washes over you until your eyelids twitch in your sleep and images start forming.
Do you remember the scent of your childhood?
I was born in a hospital where people usually go to die.
You're not kidding anyone, Harry. You don't remember shit. Tell me, do you remember your wife's hand on your face?
I was left.
That's right, funky baby. And you just stood there. One hand on the bottle and the other on your dick. Watching her go. Let it all be dragged away from you. Tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have friends, Harry boy. Where the hell are yours?
I don't want to come back.
They were only cramping your descent into the abyss. Now they're gone. 3 times gone and never coming back. All of it. You failed. You failed me. You failed Elysium.
I can come back from this.
You're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours, bumping into things and acting like a clown? Who are you kidding?
My mind is tired and broken.
Your mind is what now? I can't hear you. The rest is just a word dream. Jumbled up garbage. The pictures are gone. The bed rises to meet you. A thin, sleep-like state. More glass than velvet grinding in your head.
So something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad, this dry, this unnourishing. There's something wrong with your thoughts. Some kind of new type of hangover.
What? No!
Oh yes, party boy, and it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Here it comes too. So soon already. A silent alarm goes off in your head like clockwork. Barely let you sleep at all. Time to get those clothes on, Harry. Time to go to work in the shit factory.
Oh my. Nice. Poor bastard. 4 skill points. We're gonna put 1 in authority, 1 in suggestion. And we'll save the other 2. See if we can get the necktie.
This fan has 2 chain pulls, or has it been consigned there as punishment? You feel as though this creature is your...
We're gonna put a point into savoir-faire just to get the goddamn necktie.
This fan has, or has it been consigned there as punishment? You swoop up and catch the tie. Snap. It's released from the blade. Warning, warning, the necktie is no longer contained. What you have in your hand is a fantastically colorful tie with 4 or 5 different patterns. The knot reminds you of a noose.
What's our new tie look like? Oh, it automatically equips it. Gives us the horrific necktie. It gives us +1 to Inland Empire. So be it. It's early in the morning, so... let's head down. New people to talk to.
Morning. Looks like we can get to work at once. The Union muscle turned up. They look rowdy. We should talk to them.
Why do we need to talk to them?
Everything points to the Dock Workers Union. The tracks in the mud, the circumstances in Martinez, my preliminary information, which may, of course, all be wrong. But we still need to talk to them, and it won't be easy.
What do you mean by rowdy?
I mean ungovernable. Martinez isn't exactly enthusiastic about the RCM being here. They prefer to be policed by the Union. These men here. Men who drink beer for breakfast? There's talk of an armed wing of the Union called the Hardy Boys, who are responsible for state policing. I think it's them.
Are these the men Gart told us about yesterday?
I completely forgot. Sorry, I had a rough night's sleep. It's them by the looks of it. Loud and nasty, just like the manager said. One loose thread less to worry about, and one big problem to replace it.
There are so many of them. Maybe we should call in reinforcements?
That would just escalate tensions. No captain would sign off on it. Solving one murder isn't worth a conflict between the RCM and the Debarders Union. In fact, even the death of 2 detectives might not warrant an all-out war. So let's keep a cool head, okay?
He's not exaggerating about that mortal danger, just calmly factoring it in. Your fists clench and your pulse rises uncomfortably.
Let's roll, motherfucker.
One more thing before we do. We don't have to talk to them immediately. We can walk right past them, continue with our business.
Good. A power move. Purposefully concentrate on something else first. Yeah, streetwise. Zoom right past. Do it on your own terms.
They're in no hurry to leave. They think they own the place. Anyway, I leave that choice to you. Whatever you decide is fine by me.
Can I help you?
About my bill for tonight?
Got the 20 real? Then why are you waiting?
Fuck that.
Just a moment. And there's no public phones nearby?
The closest phone booth is down the coast. Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am.
It's fine, I understand. Thank you anyway. I'm glad to see you again, dear.
The lady is distressed. Perhaps something more upbeat might cheer her up.
Well, good day, ma'am. Everything all right?
Please don't trouble yourself about me, sweetie. I was just hoping to make a call, but the Whirling's phone line isn't working. The Union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get there. Or to the phone booth down the coast. And Gary's phone is dead too.
What's wrong with the phone line?
The manager was vague about it.
Why would he be vague about phone problems? This is something to look into later. Ask God, maybe.
Why'd you need to use the phone anyway?
To let the young woman who's house sitting for us know that we may be delayed. Morel, my husband, and Gary were supposed to get back by Monday night, but they're still missing, and I haven't heard from them. I was also hoping she'd heard from Morel.
You hear that? Someone's missing. There could be foul play afoot.
Why do I have to play the rescue man?
To redeem yourself before the hoods of law, now start asking questions like a real law enforcement official. Doing some good will alleviate the hangover. At least you're of use to someone.
All right, I'll bite. Has your husband gone missing before?
That's just it. This isn't like him at all. He always plans his expeditions so carefully.
A cold breeze hisses through dense thickets of reeds. Something sweet in it, somnolent. A damp chill goes down your spine. When you look around, you're still in the whirling in rags.
You have more important things to worry about.
What's this expedition your husband was on?
Just some field work, sweetie. Morel is a highly trained scientist. He and his assistant Gary are studying an extremely rare species of insect. But they should have returned by now. They were just going down the coast across the waterlock to set a few traps. He said they'd be back on Monday. What could be keeping them?
The waterlock, that was broken. Could this be it?
Wait, who's this Gary person? Do you trust him?
Oh, sweetie, it's nothing like that. Gary's as loyal as they come. I trust him with my husband's life any day.
The waterlock to the other side of the coast is broken. They probably just got stuck.
Oh my. What happened to the waterlock?
I really don't know.
Well, whatever the cause, I'm thankful. To both of you. You've spared me another sleepless night.
You're welcome, ma'am.
I hate to ask, but if your investigation takes you to the other side of the coast, please do keep an eye out for my husband.
This will surely lead to a cryptozoological mystery with that extremely rare insect.
And if you see him, let him know Lena is waiting for him here at the Whirling. He gets so tangled up in his work that he may not know the water lock's been repaired. And it's cold out there.
All right. If I see him, I'll let him know you're here. When or if I get out of here.
Oh, you're such a dear. Thank you, sweetie.
Your husband is some sort of scientist?
Oh, yes. A zoologist. A cryptozoologist, to be more precise.
What is cryptozoology?
It's a pseudoscience that attempts to legitimize research into mythological beasts and urban legends.
That's one opinion, yes. And people are entitled to their opinions.
My apologies, ma'am. I did not mean to undermine your hobby.
It's not a hobby, dear. It's a subfield of zoology, one specializing in animal species that are so exceedingly rare that many assume them to be extinct or even fictitious. Searching for such species called cryptids is difficult and often thankless, and frankly, many scientists are too lazy to do it. Universities these days are rarely interested in supporting real research.
She's completely internalized her husband's struggles. They are her own.
Suggestion medium. Maybe you could convince her to tell you about some of the cool cryptids.
You're an enthusiastic idiot, but you're still an idiot.
I want you to know everything about cryptids. Living cryptids, extinct cryptids, marine cryptids, land cryptids. Bring it the fuck on.
We don't have time for Cryptozoology 101. Let's get back to work, shall we?
Tell me more about Morel, looks, character, your relationship.
Oh dear, I'm not sure where to begin.
What's your husband look like?
Well, his expression is slightly grumpy, but his eyes are always bright and curious, like a small boy's. And his palms are quite coarse from all the field work, but he's quite gentle.
It's always a challenge to describe the person you know best in the world.
Let's try again. If I were trying to meet him on the street, what would I look for?
Oh, well, he's a bit shorter than you, but with a larger frame, and he has longish white hair, usually a bit uncombed. You might say wild, even.
The lieutenant pulls out his notebook and begins jotting down the woman's description.
One other thing, he'll likely have all kinds of field gear on him, even if he's not out in the reeds, you know, just in case.
How long have you two been married?
We'll be celebrating our 16th anniversary this autumn. Not the most numerically satisfying anniversary, but I like the less obvious milestones even more somehow.
How did you meet?
Via dating agency, I'm ashamed to say. I was looking to get back into the scene after recovering from my accident, and he'd just divorced.
Tinder.
We hit it off, and, well, here we are.
She's skipping over some important parts. Perhaps you'll find out more later.
I think that's all the information I need. Let's move on.
I hope I've been useful.
So, what's this rare insect you and your husband are looking for?
Oh, sweetie, it's fascinating. But I shouldn't bore you with entomological minutiae.
Oh, on the contrary, bore the fuck out of me.
The lieutenant gives you a sideways glance.
No, I want to hear about it.
Well, it's a phasmid, technically, but
But,
Oh yeah. Here comes the interesting.
where other phasmids imitate sticks or leaves, this one's a living reed. It disguises itself among the reeds here on the Insulindian coast. Hence its name, the Insulindian phasmid. Perhaps you'll end up co-discovering the phasmid with us, officers.
She looks at you in the eye and nods thoughtfully.
There's a touch of awe in the way she enunciated the creature's name.
I knew it. We're gonna be chasing made-up insects with cryptozoologists.
Maybe.
It's not made up, officer. I can assure you.
There's a hint of defensiveness to her retort, but also confidence. She seems to sit up a little straighter in her chair.
It's simply elusive, so much so that most establishment zoologists doubt it exists at all.
What makes you think that this phasmid is around here at all?
Well, some teenagers making out in the reeds saw one. They didn't know what it was, of course, but there was a brief article in a local newspaper about their encounter with a ghost insect that looks like the reeds. Gary sent us the clipping.
A fucking newspaper clipping is all the evidence you've got?
Of course, most phasmid sightings turn out to be false alarms, but their description matched the Insular Indian phasmid perfectly, and they didn't even know what they were looking at.
Is it dangerous?
Not at all. Why else would it hide itself so carefully?
Is it valuable?
Oh, I doubt it. No one gets into cryptozoology for the money, sweetie.
Does it at least have cool superpowers?
Yes, it can blend in almost perfectly among the reeds. It's how it stayed hidden all these years. Centuries even.
That's not special at all. Of course it blends in. Most insects do. You don't even have to be a stick insect for that.
Alright, so what's so special about it?
Oh dear. I'm afraid I'm not explaining this very well. It is very special. Morel can explain it all much better. I wish you could hear him describe it. Then you'd understand, I'm sure.
That's all for now, ma'am. We can talk to the cook. The tomatoes are so thinly sliced you can see through them. What's the cook gotta say?
A thin man is smoking below an exhaust hood, occasionally sipping from his mug. This must be the Whirling's cook.
Oh, I'm gonna attempt my hand at some Slavic shit. That's Grachi Kubek. And he's black, because that makes sense.
As you step in,
Just kidding.
he nods toward the table and says something in a completely foreign language. The only words you can make out are Garanzi and Kubek.
Garanzi? That sounds an inn? Alright.
It must be his name. Garanzi. Garanzi Kubek. Sounds representative.
Mr. Quebec, I'm here on official police business.
The man puts his cup down and replies something, his left hand drawing arcs in the air.
By the way, we speak goddamn Revacholian here. Get your Revacholian fascism on.
Speak Revacholian?
Yes, this man is a fucking foreigner.
We speak Suren. There is no such thing as the Revacholian language. But don't worry, your message remained clear.
It's like people saying, do you speak fucking Mexican, goddammit?
The cook is still smoking, ash falling from between his fingers. His hands are large and clean.
Good thing he didn't understand a word of your stupidity.
You know what, Kim? You're testing my patience. Do you know what's behind that door, sir?
He looks up at you, then looks away quickly, shrugging and muttering something to himself. Shrugging is an international sign for, no, I don't know what's behind that door.
You've got some impressive pots there. Pans, too.
He smiles and bangs his ladle against each of his pots in turn.
Well, I guess I don't need anything. Stay masculine, sir. Damn, what a shame.
Let me handle this.
The woman says to the crowd in the mess hall before turning to you.
You seem a little different today. Less hospitable.
You are far from home, lieutenants. This isn't a district known for its love of self-proclaimed militiamen.
You're not a gardener.
That's right. I'm not a gardener. I'm a legal counselor for the Dockworkers Union.
It feels like she's waiting for a reaction of some kind. Enough! Let's talk seriously.
Not a muscle moves in her face, but her eyes trace yours, stern and perceptive.
You are looking for Titus Hardy, who you think has information on a murder the RCM is investigating. You want to interview him.
She points to the man standing in the middle of the room.
That's Titus. Talk to him. But know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong arming. Nothing official. The District of Martinez does not recognize your authority to make arrests.
It doesn't matter if you recognize our authority. We will make an arrest, if we have to.
She says nothing. Her glare speaks for her.
What's your role in all of this?
Like I already told you, I'm a legal counselor. Do you have hearing problems?
What if I want to talk to you, not Titus?
What you want is of no significance, officer. Don't test your authority. In Martinez, you are no one.
I saw what you were thinking. You want to say, what are you going to do to me? Don't. Just because it's in your head doesn't mean you have to say. You will not lose out on anything good by not saying it.
What the fuck are you gonna do to me?
What are we going to do to you?
You were specifically asked not to say that, and then you said it anyway. You junior delinquent. But you still did.
I had to.
The union isn't going to do anything to you. It is not a crime syndicate. It is a labor organization.
Bullshit.
Goddamn right it is.
If anything, it is the RCM who do things to people. But we digress.
Why are you so aggressive?
Aggressive? You make your living enforcing violence. These people are just dock workers.
So you were spying on us, and now you represent murder suspects. Just dock workers.
Listen, you moral intern lackeys. You're a mob, enforcing the unlawful privatization of Revachol. 20 fat men in the Occident are stealing it all, and you're their bodyguards.
Damn.
Fuck yeah.
The tall, broad-shouldered man takes a sip of his beer.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders.
I don't know where you heard that, but it's wrong. The RCM is principled and strong, unlike you goddamn socialists.
Get sober. Do your job. Ask your questions and get the hell out of Martinez.
Shit. Alright, I'm gonna talk to Titus then, slut. It's a bowl. There's spit in it, reeking of tobacco. You see hawthorn bushes outside.
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling-height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers.
Squint.
There's a little slide panel up there to let some air in. No need to open it in spring. It's still too cold outside.
Perception heroic. Look out of the window.
Nothing. Just black tangles like the hair of an old woman. Motionless. The wind in the yard doesn't reach the hawthorn, nor does the light come in from this window.
Avert your gaze. Photos of men in overalls toting guns and Union placards. Shekels! Let's talk to Titus.
This is where you say your bit.
A broad-shouldered man points at you with his beer can.
He's used to giving orders and having them obeyed immediately. You should not indulge him.
Detective,
First, we need to talk about your attitude.
Wow. The RCM sent us some big dick cops.
Real big dick cops. Look at them. Reckless. Swinging in the wind.
Yeah, look at the big dick on that cop. Can't tell a dick that big what to do.
Must
Damn
be
right.
something in the water in Jamrock.
He says thoughtfully.
Yeah, gave 'em real nice big dicks.
Yeah.
You might want to start asking your questions now. It's not going to get better than this.
These guys are so macho, they're ready to confess to first-degree murder. Ask if it was them.
Scan the room.
Starting from the right. Boot size 44. Blonde man. In his 30s. Overbearingly masculine. Sitting on his right. Standard working boots. Size 45 or 46. Eldest in the room. Probably mid-50s. Smoker. Quiet. Across at the other table. Hobnailed working boots. Size 43. Gang tattoos. Mesk or Sarah Mauritian. In his late 30s, early 40s. A symmetric burn on his neck, resembling the letters Loss Loss. Has he tried to burn it off? Leave that life behind? And then, standard working boot. Steel reinforced toes. Size 46. The big dick. Wide at the shoulders and lean at the hips. Rugby cap. Fingerless gloves. And numerous scars. A little under 40. The emblem on his vest says Rowing Club. A little patch below it reads T. Hardy, Captain.
A hard ass.
In the far corner, standard working boot. Steel reinforced toes. Size 44. 40-something. Non-alcoholic beverage in hand. You squint. Is that a plectrum?
Where?
On his neck. Forget it. It's not important.
And the little guy?
Size 41. With the light step. Not a child, after all. An older man with a rat face. Mean, watery eyes, and 2 front teeth missing. In the middle, heaving and wheezing. Big guy. Boot size 46. Deep marks. Probably carried the victim over. He, alone, is 130 kilos. Add the man in armor, and you could easily exceed 220.
Heavy boy.
In conclusion, these 7 are the actors on the crime scene. The footprints were theirs, but there's a discrepancy.
One of them is missing, the odd soul.
Exactly. You've stood there for about 4 seconds, not saying anything. Hit them with questions. Where's the 8th Hardy?
The fuck is with you, fella?
I found 8 sets of footprints, but there's only 7 of you. Where's the 8th Hardy boy?
What are you talking about, madman? There's no 8th Hardy boy. There's 7 of us and we're all here. Or what? You want to be the 8th Hardy boy? We ain't hiring.
Actually, boss, we've been talking and we think she could maybe...
This person Glenn wants to hire. He really respects her. She? So there's an 8th Hardy, and it's a Hardy girl? Who might it be? Elizabeth? The gardener?
Bingo!
Shut the fuck up, Glenn!
I do the talking here. Now what?
Talking here.
Yeah.
Now what the fuck do you want, cop?
So let me get this straight. There is an 8th Hardy boy. It's a she, and you don't like us talking about her?
That's right. We're not talking about this. This is a private Hardy Boys matter. Nothing to do with your shit. And you're not cops here. Don't go digging around if you don't want a bullet in the back of your head. I'm watching you.
Good. We are all watching each other. Officer, your question.
There's no point in pushing it further, he thinks. This is already a victory. We'll learn more about this 8th Hardy sooner or later.
The hangman in the backyard. Did you do it?
So, you're not just here to swing your big dick. You're here for the pretty boy. A real looker, that one. Stinks like shit, too.
They couldn't get him down, boss. He's still up there, stinking up the place.
Funny. But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you.
Why are your boot prints all over the scene of the crime?
You mean these boots?
He raises his worker boot, size 46, steel reinforced toes. Yes.
We all got a pair. We wore them the night we took the pretty boy out back and hung him by the neck.
As he speaks, his fists contract, going through the pulling motion again, savoring it.
Yeah. We did this. Together. All of us. Until he was dead. That's why our prints are all over the scene.
There's a catch hidden somewhere. He didn't confess so that you could take them all away. It's too simple.
But there's a catch.
There is no catch. These 7 honest men have all equally come forth to tell you what happened, so that you don't waste any more of your time.
They're playing to their considerable strength in numbers. Don't talk about arresting them. You'll only bring attention to your inability to do so.
So you just murdered him like that? No remorse?
How many people have you sent to the Shays? Ever felt remorse for them?
Or send them to Reunion to rot. For 20 years. For life.
What we do is different. We enforce the law. You just kill people like it's nothing.
But you see, a lawman, is something people agree upon. And here in Martinez, we agreed that this man had to die.
So who called the shots that night?
Are you deaf? There will be no singling anyone out. You can't arrest a Hardy Boy without arresting all Hardy Boys. Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could arrest them all?
A shadow of a smirk passes her lips. She tilts her head.
Titus, keep addressing him. He wants everyone to know he's in charge.
Address Titus. No, but seriously, who calls the goddamn shots around here?
Who do you fucking think does?
Point to Titus. You do. You give the commands.
That's right, asshole. Titus Hardy runs the Hardy Boys. Ain't that so, fellas?
I think you got your answer, Mr. Law.
No, you did not get an answer. Titus does administrative work. He pushes paper, fills out forms. The others can't read. But on that night, they all acted as one man.
When did the hanging incident occur?
You don't have to keep answering his questions.
I know, Lizzie. Relax. We killed him last Sunday night. Seemed like a good way to end the week.
He sounds just like Letho from Witcher. Doubtful it's the same person, but sounds the same. How long have you known the victim?
Known him? We don't associate with scum like that, asshole.
Yeah! Who do you think we are?
Scumbags.
Quiet. He came around about 3 weeks ago when that Pines cow first sailed into town. Happy?
By the Pines cow, you mean Joyce Messier? A representative for White Pines? The same company you're striking against?
No. I mean the Pines cow. The stupid-ass cow they sent in to fuck us over. But you know what?
He rubs his chin, pretending to mull it over.
Why don't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she has interesting things to say when you ask her hard enough.
That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. Officer, your interview is drawing to an end. Don't waste your last questions.
Why did you kill him?
Why? 'Cause he was worthless mercenary scum. And he stepped out alive in my town.
Huh. He was a mercenary? That's it?
And he stepped out of line.
He repeats, his jaw clamps shut like a vice.
What kind of mercenary?
The kind that shows up when you start a strike. The experienced kind, too. Had Cohoy and Semenine written all over him. Ex-Oranese Special Forces.
A live grenade. Right here in our bar.
This one has a special gripe with him coming here.
I can't prove it. But I know he was sent by the Wild Pines. They hire merc shit like that. Story of every strike from here to Samara.
Hold on. How do you even know he was in the Special Forces?
Cause one night he walked straight up to the mic and said, "I'm Oranese goddamn Special Forces, and I'm gonna fuck you all."
Really?
Yeah, really. Had a gin and tonic up there? sang some R&E's paratrooper song, and said he's gonna fuck everyone.
Maybe so.
We couldn't believe it either, but he fucking did, right there. Like some kind of animal.
Or they learned it from someone else. Right. But did he actually do anything wrong?
Wrong? He harassed women, raped one, harassed workers, threatened to kill some as a warning.
He wiped spittle from his mouth. Rape is a serious accusation.
There's a slight unease in him suddenly. He regrets mentioning the rape.
Right.
To kill us all, if we don't open the gates, if we don't let the scabs in, if we don't bend over. That was before he started coming here.
Yeah, he said it was his favorite joint now. Started coming here every night. Drinking, grabbing girls. Grabbed one of ours mid-karaoke, right there on the stage.
He grabbed someone?
The lieutenant is trying to make sense of this flood of information.
Yeah, this girl's on the mic. A beautiful girl, young. Gets into the second verse of Lover Lake. The fucker grabs her legs, starts screaming. Show me your cunt! Why don't you show me your cunt? Then, he gets knocked on the head with a wine bottle. Doesn't even fall down.
You must be skeptical of claims such as this, but was this the same girl who was sexually assaulted, raped, as you say?
Aren't you fucking listening? My man is talking to you. He took care of it. They got the girl out before anything else could happen.
Yeah, me and Eugene got her out. Aren't you fucking listening?
Right, but who did rape her? This is a very serious allegation.
No. You're not getting the name. That's a Martinez matter. And I'm not discussing it with you clowns.
How did you kill him then?
We hanged him up by his neck until he got real still. Wasn't that obvious, copper?
Didn't they teach you anything at the cop school, idiot?
You're pretty sure you've had at least 2 years of cop school and many more of active service. Certainly enough to not put up with this backsass. Deliver a knockdown observation.
We need more. Did you muffle him? We haven't heard any reports of screams.
Titus, you don't have to clarify anything.
You fucking lawyer bitch.
We overpowered him. Dragged his unconscious body to the tree. Put a noose around his neck. And hanged him till he was dead and steady.
Then we left him for seagulls, maggots, and you fucks.
Composure challenging. Things aren't quite right here, are they?
Actually, they're admirably, surprisingly composed. The entire room.
Fuck.
Given how many questions you've lobbed their way.
All of them? Maybe one of them is fidgeting, cracking under pressure?
Well, this one. But he's always fidgeting, so don't get your hopes up.
God damn it! Wasn't he a trained killer from Iranyi's special forces? If yes, how did you manage to overpower him?
With numbers, asshole. How do you think? You're right, Lizzie. I've done enough explaining here.
Navy SEAL versus 5 plebs. I feel like the Navy SEAL wins. I doubt him.
No, he hasn't. Not yet.
Where did this overpowering, you claim, happen?
Weren't you fucking listening? The fucker came to our bar. It happened right here.
Titus lets the others clear out the details, so he doesn't get his hands muddy with explaining too much.
Right, I've got other questions.
Like what, Copper?
Why don't I just arrest your fucking ass?
Yeah, lawman. Why don't you?
Weren't you warned to not go down this path? And yet you still go and do it.
Because we're a goddamn authoritarian.
Not in the arresting mood?
His mean little eyes come alive with hatred.
A fearful readiness, like an electrical charge, raises hairs in the room. By your side, the lieutenant keeps his hand away from his holster. You hear the nylon of his coat hiss as he steps closer. Easy. Walk back from the provocation. They're armed, and they outnumber us. The lieutenant tries to establish eye contact with you, while the little rat-faced man reaches into his sleeve. There's a knife in there. Some of the others reach for their belts. Their eyes are light.
You've confessed to the murder. I'm taking you in.
Look, coppers. I know you think you're doing your job here, but there are 7 of us, and 2 of you.
The bore's the size of your eye. I can almost see the stars.
We're gonna go for it. You're under arrest. Grab his wrist.
The last thing you hear is a little murmur. Not a blast. Not an echo. No one screams. It's more dead cops.
Wow. Okay, well, that's not possible, so we're just gonna cheese and go through all that dialogue we just went through.
Behind the dock workers. Nothing. There's a little slide panel up.
Let me have.
You see,
You are far from home, Luke. That's right. I'm not a gardener.
Not.
You are looking for. That's Titus.
it doesn't.
Pardon
She
me.
says nothing.
Like I already. What you want?
I saw you will not lose out.
What are we?
So
was
basically, we
specifically-
can't try to arrest him.
If anything, aggressive. Listen.
Fuck yeah.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your. Get sober.
This is where you say your bit.
He's used.
Detective.
Hey, dipshit.
Oh,
You're sure taking your
Oh, he was a...
time to go.
e.
You might want.
These guys are so macho. Start sitting across at the other. A symmetric burn, and then the emblem in the far on his neck. Size in conclusion. Exact.
The fuck is with the pretty boy?
Funny.
You mean these? We all.
As he's.
Yeah.
There's a catch hidden somewhere.
There is no cat.
They're playing to their.
How many people?
Or send them to reunion to rot. For 20 years.
But you see,
Are you there? Do you think?
Titus. Keep addressing.
who do you fuck?
That's
I think you got.
No. You don't.
I know, Lizzie.
Known.
yeah.
Quiet.
By
No. Why don't you ask her?
That's enough.
Why? I am
what kind?
the kind that
A live grenade.
This one.
I can't.
Cause one night.
Really?
Yeah,
We couldn't.
Wrong
There's slight unease.
to kill us all.
yeah. He said,
He grabbed someone.
yeah. Show me your con.
Aren't you?
Yeah. Me?
No. We hanged him up by.
Didn't they?
You're pretty certainly enough to.
Titus.
We overpowered.
Then we left him for seagulls.
Actually, they're at. Well, this one.
With num.
No, he hasn't.
Weren't you?
Titus, let's.
Like what? Yeah, Lom.
Weren't you warned to?
Not in.
A fair but easy. While the little rat-faced man reaches into his sleeve.
Okay,
There's a
back
nut-
off.
Wise move. You made the right choice there.
Back to where we were.
Now make another one. And get the fuck out of our booth. We're not gonna do this again.
So what are we gonna do now? Conclude questioning.
Nothing. Your investigation here is done. Leave Martinez. Go back to your stations where you belong.
I think we're going to stick around. Thanks. Some things don't add up here, Tate. I've done this job for long enough to know that people don't just confess to first-degree murder. Even if it is a group responsibility. We're going to look into this.
Good luck with that. You've heard everything a rent-a-cop is gonna hear from us. Real law officials. You're lucky you didn't get a beating.
Rent-a-cop. So that's what this is about. He doesn't see you as his equals.
I found a footprint. Well, okay,
Why
we
do
did
you-
that
Oh.
too.
Actually,
This person, she,
shut the fuck up.
So let me get this straight. There is an eighth Hardy boy. It's a she, and you don't like us talking about her?
That's right. We're not talking about this. This is a private. You're not cops here. Don't.
Good.
There's no point in pushing it further, he thinks. This is already a victory.
Authority.
We'll learn more about this 8th Hardy sooner or later.
Authority here, you know what? Save here. Can we save? Oh, we got to check our thoughts. And then we're going to attempt that.
Jamais vu. Derealization. Jamais vu. The opposite of déjà vu. Not already seen, but never seen. Everything that should be familiar appears strange and new, like some half-forgotten day in your childhood. Only now. That's the feeling you've been having. And for who knows how long. You should go and ask Joyce Messier about this. What world are we in? This is a fundamental question.
That's really good. +1 XP for every orb click. That means every little non-dialogue circle. And all intellect caps raised, which doesn't mean shit for us.
Revacholian nationhood.
Racism!
The Revacholian state will be a serene place. You should get a drink. A beautiful, serene place of mystery and peace. It will not be a place for women to infect with their frailty and hysterics, or where the Seminese will be allowed to wear their pants around their ankles. All of that will go once you get a drink. The socialist professors at the École Supérieure will be fired. The editors of Trompe le Monde will have to beg in the streets. You'll pour beer into their begging hats and laugh. You should get a beer.
Incredible. Okay. We're going to save here. And then venture out into the town on the second day when we get back. Thank you for watching.